All right, we're backstage at Coachella 2024. It is Kevin Kenny for KROQ, and Justice has joined us in the trailer. Thank you, gentlemen.
Hello.
Dude, this is, let me see. I guess exactly a week until Hyper Drama, your first album in 8 years, is going to be available.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
And you guys worked with, I want to start with the Kevin Parker record, the Tame Impala record. And it really struck me when I was reading about you guys talking about it. And it seems like it can almost serve as a like a thesis or like an opening statement for the entire record, because it's this song that, if you haven't heard it, sort of oscillates between two different genres but never sort of overlapping, and that sort of flirtatious duality really struck me when I was reading your words and also listening to the song. Why do you think, you guys are veterans now in music, at this point in your career, why did that really fascinate you and want to explore maybe an entire body of work with that concept?
Because we love loop-based music. We're not too big into electronic music, but one of the things we like is the repetitivity of it, and we love the idea of like streamlining your music until you find like that one perfect loop that you feel you could listen to forever. And when we started working on the song, we had this idea, so we made like a demo of the instrumental. That was that riff that was all electronic, like ravey made. We produced the exact same riff in a disco version, just because we found it cool to go from one to the other. And when we played the tune to Kevin, we told him that we would like him to sound like if we would have found like a sample of like a non-used, like a Tame Impala or Kevin or whatever record he would sing on, and just like put it on our song and have really like, it's almost like the disco part is the original version and the electronic part is the modern version of the same track.
Yeah, it's a great tune, and obviously a great introduction to the record we'll get in a week from you guys. And we're backstage at Coachella right now, and do I have this correctly? Your first ever live show was here in 2007?
Yes, that's right.
Now, back then, for the historians of justice and just maybe the scene or the overall scene that you guys came from, you were managed at the time by Daft Punk, and so you guys were actually by the same people that managed Daft Punk, and they did 2006, this iconic, pyramid performance. Do you remember if that played at all? Did you ever talk to Daft Punk going into that performance, or what was your approach for that first Coachella set in 2007?
Oh, like it was like very different, because I mean, we've been compared a lot because we had like the same management, and we are both like bands, like two pieces bands from France doing electronic music, but like at the time we were like starting and playing our first show, they were already like a legendary band, so I mean there was no other connection than being French, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a thing like, oh, how did you do it? Okay, like I should do the same thing or whatever. Like they've always been like operating in a different circle than ours, also like even musically. But for the story, yeah, Thomas was here like during the first show, and he helped us a bit like putting like the stage together, but really like hands in the dirt, like putting like assembling everything with us. We are like a team of 10 people working behind the stage, because we built everything in Los Angeles.
Wow.
So but that was it, it was just out of like having a good time and everything, but
yeah. Now you guys have collaborated on Hyper Drama with a bunch of great artists. Were there any collaborations, I know fans are always curious about this, that almost got to the finish line, but maybe you reached out, it didn't work out for whatever reason? Any artists that almost made the album?
We tried things that didn't work out, and sometimes it's just because it's not the right song. Like for example, like Miguel, before that song that's on the album, we tried like a couple of times to make music together, but when it's not the right tune or the right moment, it just doesn't happen. So it doesn't mean that it's doomed to never happen. It just means it's not the right occasion.
Definitely. I was always a big fan of the remix you guys did with Frank Ocean a number of years back. Yeah. And I remember prior to that, you guys had maybe announced that you were going to retire from remixes. And at least as a fan, it seemed like that song brought you out of retirement, so to speak. Are there any artists today that you would maybe come out of retirement, so to speak, and remix a song with them?
The thing with that Frank song is that it was more like part of How can I say? It was like
it was not presented as a remix at first.
no,
but it ended up being one. Yeah.
No, but because he was like throwing parties in New York, like very small, like club nights, and he wanted us to play like the first one, and like for schedule reasons we couldn't make it. So at some point he was like, but if you're not here, can we maybe just make like a, can you turn like this song into more like a club tune or whatever? It's not really a club remix that we did. And so we are like, yeah, sure, let's do it, and we did it, and finally we were free for the party. So it was kind of a package, and he was like selling then a very limited run of vinyls after the parties, and then there was a party. I think the one after was like with Arca, I think, and the same thing was made. So it was more like a package with like a very small club night, very small like limited version of a vinyl, and in these cases it's fun for us, and we make it. And also we felt that there was something to be done with this song, but no, other than that we still don't do remixes.
Yeah. You speak of the New York City club nights, and we're obviously here on the other side of the United States, but there's really been this resurgence in the NYC club scene, and some would say almost like a reemergence of the sound that you guys helped craft and create. Are you up on any of the new artists of the genre? Like the Dare is having a moment of sorts right now in that space. Do you guys listen to anybody nowadays, or have any comments on the reemergence?
No, like we have no idea. We didn't even know there was like a revival already.
Right. You've been busy making an album.
Yeah, and the truth is that we keep our ears open, and sometimes we hear like things that we like in electronic music, but it's we don't really come from this, and we're not like craving for like new electronic music.
Yeah. Definitely. I think one of the coolest and most impressive sort of aspects of your legacy is how quickly you began to not only influence your scene, but also influence other forms of music. You guys were, dance was sampled on Jay-Z's On to the Next One. Kanye, of course, you guys worked together. Do you remember that sort of era in your life, like 2006, 2009, when sort of hip-hop began not only just sampling you like Swizz Beatz did on to the Next One, but also working with Kanye West?
What's the question? Sorry.
Oh, do you have any memories of that time of sort of transcending your own scene or sound into the world of hip hop?
Yeah, but that the same thing happens with any genre of music. Like when there's something underground that becomes a bit more than just like operating in the circle of its own genre. It's like, of course, like everybody in the hip hop or in the pop music has an eye on this. And that's their job, like to bring things from the underground, take them and inject them into something bigger. And sometimes it's like, like rock and roll. Like I remember, like a lot of things by Timbaland being influenced by the Rapture, for example. What's the name of that song? Sexy Back was like, even if it doesn't sound anything like it. Like it was originated by a House of Jealous Lovers, or like Andre 3000 recording Eya after he saw like a show by the Hives in New York, like Kevin being like a sample on all like hip hop albums like for the past 5 years. So that's the way it is,
Yeah, definitely. Now, this is the world famous KROQ, and one of the biggest KROQ acts of all time is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And one of my favorite clips I've ever seen online is of you guys and Anthony Kiedis. You're, I believe, singing to Anthony. Do you remember this video?
Yeah.
What's the story? I've never heard this story. If you don't mind me asking, why were you guys together, and what led to the video?
We were hanging in Los Angeles, and we were filming a documentary at the time. And we would have done anything for like things to happen at our documentary. So I just started singing Under the Bridge to him, and just see what would happen. And that was fun. And he had like a very good instant reaction. That was fun. That was very embarrassing, but that was fun.
Yeah, that was a great moment. And looking ahead to Hyperdrama. Is there a song that you're really excited for people to hear? This is about a week out as we tape this.
That's very cliche, but all of them really, like, they've all been thought as being part of a whole piece. Now, so far, we've only presented like the more like I'm trying to find the right words. Maybe party side of the record. There's more party tunes, but there's also like more abstract tunes on the second, third, and we really love them. And so far, they are still under the wraps. So maybe those ones, you know, like there's a strings of tune that like follow each other. And so if you have like 20 minutes, listen to Moonlight Rendezvous, Explorer, Muscle Memory, Harpy Dream, Saturnine, and it's a very good string of music.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much. We're very excited
Thanks
for the
a
new
lot.
record, and we appreciate you making time on a busy day.
Thanks.